Alright guys, it's a Big Bear again. Down to the second to last um, video covering the magical items in the Big Red Book, and with this installment we're going to cover Enchanted Items. So Enchanted Items are probably my most favorite things to take in Warhammer. They have such a degree of use, and some are so cheap, and most of them are not insanely expensive. So with that in mind, you can throw them all over the place, and they're just great. So let's go ahead and get into these things. The first one is the Wizarding Hat, and basically it's 100 points. It's expensive, but it makes your guy count as level 2 wizard. Now this is big because if you think about it, if you're going to buy a level 2 with most armies, it's going to run you 85 points. So for 15 more points, you are basically gaining a fighter wizard to where you don't have to worry about um, your guy getting chopped up, your wizard just dying because he's so weak. Putting this on like a Tomb King, it gives me the, he's so defensive. He's strength 5 times 5, 4 attacks. Now he's a level 2 wizard. I mean, yeah, he has stupidity for the game, but you keep a battle standard bearer nearby, or Tomb King, he's leadership 9 or 10. He doesn't really care about it. You get in hand to hand, it doesn't matter anyway. But with that in mind, it keeps your wizard alive a lot longer, and the other big thing with this is that, like I said, with Tomb Kings, I don't have access to a lot of spells in the lore and the rule book. So by doing this, the only ones I do have access to are Light and Death. So with this gives me access to predominantly most of the other spells. I mean, I've used it one time, and I think I got Fire. So that was pretty cool to run Fire with my Tomb Kings. It's a different spin. I wouldn't say it's competitive because it's not guaranteed. Most of the time with competitive, you want to go for what's guaranteed. But I have seen people take random things, like random armies, and a lot of it, and just decimate tournaments because the luck is with them. So you actually could field it in that manner. But as said, it's really good if you want to venture out of your lore, especially for armies that are severely limited on the lores they can take in the rulebook. And it's great for having a good time with a fighter wizard. It kind of makes you feel like you're part of Zinch or something. Next one is the folding Portress. This thing's banned in most tournaments. I don't think they went far enough to really describe what it actually means that it does. I mean, it puts a building up. That could be anybody's guess. Me and my group, we don't use it because it gets out of hand. Nobody knows what's what. We'll just leave it for the birds. If you really want to use it and your group, says everything's a go, then you could use this thing, and it basically just adds another piece of terrain to your table. The thing you have to remember that, while that's cool, you're in a building, you're defended, that's awesome. Somebody charges you with a flaming banner, you're going to be getting tore up. So with that in mind, you want to be careful with how you use it. And it's really expensive. So sorry, the hiccups are killing me. The next one is the Arabian Carpet. This gives you fly. You can't join any more units, but it's pretty cool having a little character fly around. I mean, you get a goblin with flying and a great weapon. I mean, it can get really irritating to people. He's a little dude. He's like 105 points. For most chaff and most armies, it's 75 to 80. So he's kind of like a chaff unit that can deal out some serious damage and go after war machines and just tear them up. So the opponent has to deal with him. It's also good on units like Doom Bull. A lot of people do that. I could see people putting it on a Ogre Tyrant. He's just big bad monster, and now he flies. I mean, that's really scary. So the next one's going to be the Crown and Command. I think this is probably easily the most taken enchanted item. For armies that rely on leadership and not breaking, it's really good to put this on a guy with a 4-up ward, as much armor save as you can give him with the rest of your points, and a great weapon. And then they have to basically kill him, which most of the time they're not going to do, or just kill your unit to a man. So 35 points, keep a unit there until the end. Pretty big deal, especially when you're in range of a standard bearer. So the next one is Healing Potion. I don't see a lot of people take this, but this thing to me shines exceptionally well on characters that have a lot of wounds. So Doom Bull, Ogre Tyrant, you know, well, even the Fat Frog could benefit from this, from his cast and stuff. So, yeah, you know, you take some wounds. When I used to run Beastman, I had my Doom Bull down to 1 wound, and then guess what? Bam, he's fully recovered. You know, you roll a 4 or 5, and people are like, oh my god, they have to kill a whole nother Doom Bull, and it's only 35 points. So two Doom Bulls basically, because one would have died. You know, it saves you a lot of points for 35, and it kind of lets your guys stay in the mix. You know, you ever think of how many games you have your Doom Bull or your Tyrant running around, you know, killing people, and then he's down to 1 wound, so now he's got to hide because you don't want to give up all the points. Well, now you don't have to hide because you just drink this potion and just get stuck back into the mix. So that's another thing I think. His offensive abilities are lost when he has to run and hide, and that's a lot of points in offensive abilities that you're just hiding behind a building. The next one is the Feather Foe Torque. Flying creatures must reroll successful rolls to hit against your character. Same thing as all the other flying things. It's so random when you do fight a flying enemy. It's too many points for what it does. I'm just not impressed with it. So the next one, the Ruby Ring of Ruin. I see a lot of people take this. It's really good for clearing chaff. I'm not really that big of a fan of bound spells. Around my Toon Kings, I have a level 4. I add the D3 power dice to my phase, which is nice, but usually my level 4 gobbles all those up, and I keep a Hero Titan nearby, so it's an extra D3 to every spell he casts. So he's just throwing out, 1 or 2 spells. He's just, dominating the magic phase, and the opponent basically has to pick one to stop. So the second I stop doing that, I noticed I'll go, my Hero Titan's going to cast his bound spell, the same exact thing as this, really. And the opponent's like, what, you rolled a 4? Cool, I'll stop it with, 1 dice. So it can help to clear chaff, though. Like I said, you throw 1 dice at it, you get it. If they throw 1 dice, they get a 1 or a 2, then guess what? They can't stop it no matter what level they are. So, that can be kind of good. The next one is the Terrifying Mask of E. I like this thing a lot. You can't use your leadership for the rest of your army when it's on a character. That's not really a big deal because 25 points, it's so cheap. You give it to like a hero, put him in a unit. He charges, people can just break from it. And also, it causes fear to the unit. So while fear is not, oh my god, unstoppable, it's still, I've seen it affect a lot of games in a huge way. So that's something to think about with this thing. And if you decide you're going to take that 50-point banner, like I said earlier, the Terror banner, this thing's 25 points and a lot cheaper. So this might be a better option to do so. But you have to think that it's going under character, so he dies, it's gone. Same thing goes for your standard. It dies, it's gone. But usually you can keep your standards alive a lot longer than most heroes that you're just trying to keep cheap with just this and like a great weapon. So the next one is Potion of Strength. I use this thing like crazy. The armies that this thing is usable on is just unlimited. I mean, you have, Doom Bull. Well, we'll just go down the list. I constantly use him because I used to love mine. But Doom Bull, give him the sword always strike first, and that shield that lets you reroll armor saves. Give him basically a 1-up save, and you pass him a ton of saves. You're getting a ton of attacks back because of that. That shield lets you attack more, and then now all those are +3 to strength, so they're all strength 9 hits. So you're just like crushing people. With this ability. So, I mean, that's a big deal. Another thing, putting on, like when I played Wood Elves, you got a War Dancer hero set to, with, Annoyance and Nedlings. Give him this, and he has like 6 attacks at like strength 7. I mean, I used to have a demon player I played against run. He literally ran and declined a challenge from my Wood Elf War Dancer because the one time he didn't, the 2 times he didn't, he got killing blowed once, and the other time he got hit with 4 strength 7 attacks, so he just died. So, I mean, he's like, I'm not fighting that guy. You popped your potion, I'm not doing it. Cool, go to the back rank. And with that being said, you want to save that for the second round. Have you challenge with your Annoyance Nedling guy, he accepts, kill his champion, and then the next round you go, cool, pop my potion of strength, so guess what? You better accept it or go to the back. Most of the time I'll go to the back, so. Excuse me. The next one, Potion of Toughness, +3 toughness. I love this thing, especially on battle standard bearers or characters like Generals of the Empire with their special leadership bonus that you need to sorry, my daughter. You need to keep in the fight. So you go, hey, Battle Bear, I'm sick of people targeting him out. Guess what? He's toughness 8 this round, with the Black Orc. So people will shun from fighting this guy, and it's also good. The thing I forgot to mention earlier, these 20-point items and the Mask of Eek are really good to throw on like champions with certain armies, like Chaos Chosen champions, Minotaurs. Their champions can have a magical item. Which I don't see a lot of people do, which they should. You give the Minotaur champion the Potion of Strength, double hand weapons. Once he gets up to like 6 or 7 attacks, then guess what? There's 6 or 7 strength, 8 attacks. I mean, just crushing people. So the same thing with the toughness. You get the champion in there with the Minotaur champion with a great weapon. Have him charge in against a unit with a character challenge. Their character will probably accept because, it's the guy you popped your potion of toughness, so your guy's going to be toughness 7, strength 7, with God knows how many frenzy markers that you already have. Excuse me again. And I've killed a lot of characters, and when you kill a character with a champion, you gain an extra 50 victory points. Is what it says in the rule books. On the rulebook, I should say. So that's a really big deal to think about. The next one is the other Trickster Shard. This thing's great because it allows you to the opponents and yourself to reroll ward saves. So it does it to you too. Well, to get around that, just don't take a ward save. Take the Armor Silvered Steel, the reroll the either once per game or all game Dawnstone armor save, and then take this thing here and like a great weapon. So you're slamming into people doing your strength 5 usually on a war boss, +2 great weapon, strength 7. So you're doing -4 armor save, and if they have a ward, most time they just take a ward save to be safe, like I said earlier. So guess what? That thing drops from 50% effectiveness to like 12% effectiveness, or 25. But like I said, you basically eliminate that. So that's a huge deal for assassinations, and it's a highly taken item for tournament games. The next one is actually one of my favorite items in the game, Iron Curse Icon, 5 points. It's so good. I just put it on any character in my list. And then later on in the game, if I need to trim 5 points, I take it off because it doesn't hurt me if I really don't have it. But for an all-comers list, you're gonna find a war machine here and there. Most people, you have trebuchets, you have cannons, stone, regular stone throwers, bolt throwers, all that. It gives you a 6-up ward, and that'll help you a lot of times. So we have one more video to do, and then after that, I'll cover the in that video. Yeah, in that video I'll cover the summary of these items, and I hope you guys enjoyed all these, and hope to see you there.